Okay, good morning class. So today we're looking at integers. We're looking at exercise 3. And the examples for exercise 3 is on page, it starts from page 45. Okay? I didn't do the recording of the examples for exercise 2. That we'll do on some other time. The electricity will be going off soon. So I'm just trying to get the new work in before that happens. So today we're looking at multiplication of integers. We already spoke about positive times a positive is a positive, and negative times a negative is a positive, and positive times a negative is a negative, and a negative times a positive is negative. We went through that extensively, and there we wrote down that rule now. No? Okay, and at this point we said that the rule for multiplication is that the positive times a positive will always be positive. An example is given. And a negative times a negative will always be positive, and a negative times a positive will be negative, and a positive times a negative will also be negative, or vice versa. If I repeated it there. And it's written in basic mathematical notation there. So now we're looking at the examples on page 45. This is the example on page 45. Okay. So here we are told that negative 2 times negative 5. What's negative 2 times negative 5? You can call it out. What's negative 2 times negative 5? Positive 10, yes. What's negative 3 times positive 6? Negative 18. Who's saying about negative 18? Negative 1 times positive 5. Negative 5. What's negative 2 times negative 1? Positive 2. So negative times negative is a positive. Number 5. Negative 10 times negative 3. Positive 30. The next one? 8. Negative 16. Positive 2 times negative 20. Negative 40. Negative 5 times negative 15. Positive 45. Negative 2 times 10. Negative. If there's no sign here, then what sign is there? Positive. 3 times 12 is 36. Okay, you guys understand? Yes. So any confusion? Let's carry on. So now, remember that the rule we spoke about yesterday. What was the who can remind us of the rule? Hafsa discovered to her own surprise. Yes?
I think way too.
Yes, Michael. Yes, there we go. If there's an odd amount of negatives that's being multiplied, the answer will be positive. Negative. If it's even, the answer will be positive. Okay, so negative 2 times negative 3 times negative 4. So it's 3 negatives. So the answer is going to be? It's odd. 3 is odd.
No, it's odd.
Not O. O-D-D. No. Odd, yes. So it's negative 2 times negative 3 times negative 4. So there's 3 negatives. So your answer is going to be? Negative. 2 times 3 is? 6. And 6 times 4 is? People, please don't waste my time. Please. The next one we got negative. There's how many negatives here? 3. So it's odd. So it's negative. 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1 is 1. Yes? No. Basically what they did here was I forgot to cut that out. And again I didn't cut that out. Okay. Suppose I've cut it all out. So from the sum I'm going straight into the answer. Okay. The next one. How many negatives are here?
3.
There's 4 negatives. So the ultimate answer is going to be? Positive. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2? 8. And 8 times 2 is? 16. Okay. Take this out here. So how many negatives are here? 4 negatives. So the answer is going to be? Positive. 1 times 2 is 2 times 1 is 2 times 3 is Will you guys understand? Is there any confusion? Let's carry on. And if there's note we made already, from the above you can see that an even number of negative signs multiplied will be positive. And an odd amount of negatives signs multiplied will be negative. The positives doesn't make any difference. Okay, you're multiplying that thing. And it's very important to note, only count the negative signs for your for your final answer. Okay. Now we're looking at the examples, and these examples on page 46. Okay. These examples are on page 46. So what do we note here? It's going to be negative times positive times negative. So how many negatives are here? 3. So the answer is going to be negative. 2 times 1 is 2 times 3. Then 6 times 3? 18. Do you guys understand? Let's look at the next one. How many negatives are here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's that odd or even? Even. So the answer is going to be positive. So 5 times 1 is? Times 1? Times 1? Times 1? So the answer is 5. Now, number 3. You got negative 1 to the exponent 10. So that means you say it's going to be negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 10 of those times. Okay? You all agree with that? So will that be even or odd? Even. So it's going to be positive or negative? Positive. And 1 times 1, 10 ones multiplied by each other will give you? 1. You all agree with that? Let's look at number 4. You got negative 1 to the exponent 7. So it's negative 1 times 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 negative 1. 7 of those. Okay, so how many negatives are there? 7. Is that odd or even?
Odd.
So that's going to be negative. And 1 times 1, 7 ones, we multiply? People, you guys understand? Anybody that's confused? Okay. Now we've got negative 2 raised to the exponent 3. So that means to say it's negative 2 times negative 2 times negative. So the amount of negatives, is that odd or even? It's odd. Why? Because there's 3 negatives. So it's odd. So the ultimate answer, positive or negative? Negative. 2 to the exponent 3 is 8. So it's negative 8. I could have gone from the straight into that. Do you guys understand? Let's look at number 6. You got negative 2 raised to the exponent 4. Is that an even amount of negatives or an odd amount of negatives? Even. So that's going to be positive. And 2 to the 4 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 16. See, any confusion? No. Alright. Look at number 7. Okay. So, according to this, what must be done first? The bracket. Not so. The bracket must be done first. Okay. So that would simply be negative open brackets. So negative to an even exponent will always be positive. And 3 squared is 9. What's negative times positive? Negative 9. Okay? You understand? Let's look at the next one. You got negative 2, open brackets. Now negative to an odd exponent will always be negative to an odd exponent. Will it be negative or positive? Negative. Who is still saying positive? You know somebody here? Unless I keep both rows in during break and I can go through it again with you guys. So what is 2 to the exponent 3? 8. What's negative times negative? Positive. 2 times 8? 16. Let's look at number 9. got negative 3 times, now there is no sign here in front of the 2, so it's going to be positive. But positive to any exponent will always be positive. Did you see that, people? But don't bother with that even. But 2 to the exponent 4 is what? 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 16. What's positive times negative? 3 times 16. Okay. Any confusion at this point, people? The last one I'm going to do now before the electricity goes out. Again, it's going to be 2 multiplied by 3 cubed. Then 3 cubed is 27. What's 2 times 27? 54. Okay, you guys understand? Alright. Let's look at this here quickly. We got negative 2a times negative 3a. Negative 2a times negative 3a. What's negative times negative? Positive. 2 times 3? 6. A times a squared. Or you could have just rewritten it as 6a squared. Alright, you guys got it? Let's look at the next one. What does bracket stand for? Multiplication. What's positive times negative? Times negative. Positive. 5 times 4 times 2, 40. A squared times a cubed. A5 times a6. Let's look at the next one. What's negative times positive? Times negative? Positive. Or you could have just counted these two negatives. 1 times 3 times 2. X cubed times x. X4 times x. X5. Y. Y times y squared. Let's look at number 4. 3 negatives. The answer will be? Right, you'll say the first 5 minutes during break and you'll go through it with you. 2 times 4? 8. A cubed times A5. A8 times A. 8 to the exponent 9. B times B. B squared times B. A cubed. You all okay with that? Yes.
Sir, and what you going to do with like number 2, for example, if exponents are in the brackets, can't you add the exponent?
Yes, but we must add it. 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 1 is 6.
Yes, but then can't you add? Isn't it another one you can add that's positive?
Or are you saying that that cube must apply to that negative? Is that what you're saying?
No, sir, I'm saying if 2 plus 3 plus 1 is equal to 6, then 6 is an even number and then it's positive.
No, that number has nothing to do. That number has nothing to do with that negative there. It's only if it's outside the bracket, like here, then that applies to the negative. But if that is inside the bracket, like that 2 is inside that bracket, it doesn't apply to this negative sign. Okay. Let's look at number 5. Negative to an odd exponent will always be negative. 2 cubed is 8. A squared times a squared raised to the power of 3 is 8 to the exponent 6. What is the rule there? Who can remember? You got the base raised to the higher exponent. Multiply the exponents. Not so. Let's look at number 6. So what needs to be done first? The bracket. So it's negative 3a times negative to an even exponent will always be positive. 5 squared is 25. A to the exponent 6. Okay. Now don't need that positive in front of the 25. What's negative times positive? Negative 3 times 25? 75. 8 times A 6? 8 to the exponent 7. Oh, with me still? Okay. So we got number 7. We got negative 8 times. Now what is 2 squared? 4. Now you see there's no sign here, so it's positive. So positive squared is positive. 4. A to the exponent? 2. And b to the exponent?
6.
Now there's no sign, so there's a positive. No? What's positive times negative? Negative. So there's a 1 here. 1 times 4 is 4. A cubed. B. Do you guys understand? Okay, so during the lesson tomorrow, we will conclude the examples dealing with the same. Okay. For homework, I would like you guys to do from exercise 3. You're going to do numbers 1 to 20. Numbers 1 to 20, and that's on page 47. This is the next exercise. People, enjoy the rest of your day. Good morning, class.
Morning, sir.
Don't forget, you must stay, eh? Stay. Because the other girl didn't do homework.